What's up? I'm AJ, and welcome back to Gen Z Garage. In my last videos, I rebuilt the suspension and the engine and completely finished the interior. If you follow the Gen Z Garage Instagram, you'll have seen that I went to a car show. The first car show ever with both this car and just in general. Unfortunately, I did not win, but next time I definitely will. In this episode, we're gonna start working on this, the front end, and we're gonna be putting all of this stuff into the front end. So let's get started.
For this two-part series, I purchased almost everything from the Fiero store. I purchased a brand new windshield washer tank and cap, a new coolant overflow tank, new hood seals and gaskets, new splash shields, which go around the radiator and condenser, new Heater Coore coolant tubes, a brand new Slave Master cylinder, a remanufactured Brake Master cylinder, and finally, a new windshield washer pump. But there's more.
So I have the original, like the prototype spare tire cover from Rodney Dickman. You can see that he has all like the measurements written out because this is like the original. And my dad was telling me, oh, I got the first one. Mine has a cool Fiero emblem on it. And I was like, you didn't get the first one. I have the prototype. You have the one that came afterwards. And he was like shocked. So yeah, this is really cool. This is like the first.
For those who don't own a Fiero, this small area in the front is often known as the Frunk. It contains a lot of mechanical equipment, other than the engine, of course. I start by cleaning it out, removing the club and the sunroof wind deflector. I also remove the spare tire jack. And then the spare tire, which takes a very, very long time.
I'm probably gonna be here for like 1,000 years. Oh my god. I just saw the bottom of it. Still not done. Oh my god. Wait. It is not necessary for this screw to be this screwed. Why is it like this? Jeez.
And finally, the tire. We'll also remove the tire iron, which will be reconditioned along with everything else. We can start by removing the brackets and other components, starting with the jack mounting bracket. It's worth mentioning as I remove these bolts that the 1984 to 1985 Fiero had a smaller windshield washer tank. It's easy to upgrade to the larger 1986 to 1988 tank, but you have to replace the jack bracket with one from a newer car. I'll talk more about this later in the video. And then the windshield washer tank, starting with the hose.
We're getting two McDonald's Happy Meals. Okay, I said it wasn't gonna, I said, is it gonna spill out? And you said, no, I promise you it won't. And I said, okay, we're getting two McDonald's Happy Meals then. Do you see this? Do you see that? It's spilling. Two McDonald's Happy Meals.
Next, I remove the connector. And then remove the screws holding down the washer tank. Before we can remove it, the sunroof stowage bracket needs to be removed.
You have to get this first, locking it.
This is held on by 3 7mm screws. And then just pulls up and out.
Oh yeah.
With that off, I remove the windshield washer tank. Next, I begin removing the screws that hold down the fiberglass spare tire tub. There are a lot of these screws, most of which are 7mm, along with various plastic grommets and clips. It's important for me to remove this so I can gain access to the AC lines and other components that I intend to recondition. As you remove this tub, inspect the condition of it. The underside is exposed to road debris, rain, and even salted snow if you live up north. It can break down the fiberglass over time, so you may want to spray the entire underside with rubberized undercoating to protect it before you reinstall it. And let's not forget about the sunroof stowage mounts. With all the screws and grommets removed, it just lifts up and out. Next, I unscrew the heater hose clamps.
So like basically take the screw out.
The screw doesn't cut. Oh, that's not supposed to happen.
Do you want it?
Sure.
And then remove the clamps. I use a razor blade to cut the hoses down the middle, which allows me to pry them off and remove the hoses, which I've already disconnected at the bottom. Next, I remove the front trunk light. This light is actually an option and didn't come with all Fieros. It only turns on when the parking lights are on and is controlled by a door switch installed by the latch. I then remove the AC power and high-speed blower relays. I then begin removing the AC accumulator. I make sure to use 2 crescent wrenches at the same time so I don't bend the tubes. And then the other side. We then remove 2 clamps, one holding the evaporator brackets of the frame, and the other a larger loop bracket that keeps the dryer in place. I disconnect the AC cycle switch, and the dryer is free. There's a few more brackets that need to be removed. I'll be cleaning and repainting these later. Next, I remove the fan speed resistor. This little device allows more refined control of the fan speed by sending the current through different coils that each provide different resistance, thus increasing or reducing the speed. With that removed, I put bags of the AC lines and use zip ties. I do this to make sure no bugs or lizards get in there. I move to the other side of the car and begin working on the brake booster and master cylinder. I start by unscrewing the lines from the brake master cylinder, and then remove the proportioning valve hold-down screw so I can move the lines out of the way. With the lines disconnected, I begin removing the 2 screws that hold the master cylinder to the booster. Keep in mind that brake fluid will likely be dripping down. Brake fluid is very caustic and will destroy your paint. I put some rags to catch the fluid, but I'm repainting everything anyways. I remove the proportioning valve bracket and then pull the master cylinder out of the way. Again, brake fluid will destroy the exterior paint, so be careful. Next, I move on to the clutch master cylinder. I've already removed the clutch hydraulic line, and I removed the 2 crush nuts holding it down. Before it can be pulled from the firewall, it needs to be disconnected from the clutch pedal first. I remove the cotter pin holding the arm to the pedal, and I remove the clutch master cylinder. Next, I remove the wiper arm motor. It's attached using 3 10mm screws. With the motor pulled free, I can then get to the nut that holds it to the wiper arm assembly. I'll rebuild the wiper arm assembly later, but for now, I just remove the motor so I can service it. Next, I move on to the brake booster. This is held into the firewall with 4 13mm crush washers. Some of them are really hard to get to, so I recommend using a ratcheting crescent wrench to make the job a little bit easier. Like with the clutch master cylinder, you must remove the cotter pin that holds the pushrod arm to the brake pedal. Looking at the pedal assembly under the car, you can see that here. Simply remove the cotter pin and slide the pushrod off the pedal mount. Be sure to remember if there are any washers installed and in what order they go. And with that, the brake booster is removed. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for part 2, where I'll restore and reinstall everything back into the Frunk, including some upgrades and special touches that I'll go over. But before you go, let me tell you a little bit about a campaign I'm supporting for the SEMA Action Network. An important piece of legislation, which is a first step in protecting our right to repair, is the Warrior Right to Repair Act. This act will allow the U.S. military the ability to source parts, components, and repair vehicles they own, without having to go through dedicated vendors. Passage of this will save the taxpayer money, improve US-based competition, and lower costs to both consumers and the military. Please go to SEMA.org and click on Advocacy in the upper right-hand corner to get involved today.